Let me tell you a very moving story of a Russian girl who came to Berlin as a forced laborer in 1944. Halina was her name. I tell you how it happened, because it was a mere accident when she came. How she traveled to Germany, because she was from Ukraine, working on the field harvesting something, when a train in the distance stopped, a train with these brown red wagons loaded with Russian girls who had to go to Germany to help in the industry. Well, the train stopped. Something had to be repaired, I don't know. And the girls in the train started singing. And Halina heard it. And she went there, was attracted by the music, jumped into the wagon and sang with the girls. But suddenly, she noticed that the train was moving and she couldn't get out anymore. She had to stay inside, barefoot as she was. Well, so she ended in Berlin. And he was distributed to help in a household of our neighbor. It was a doctor, a widow. She was a very cruel and inhumane person, because in those days of fascism, people were indoctrinated to treat every Russian as a subhuman. So she didn't care about anything about Halina, if she was healthy or... Halina had no clothes, no shoes, just a frock and a blouse. But she was always singing when she was cleaning the window panes or when she was working in the garden, and I was attracted. And went over the street and started to talk to her. So slowly we became friends. My mother invited her to come to dinner. We didn't have that much to eat, but we could share it anyways. And my mother gave her some clothes, old shoes she had, because the doctor, this Nazi woman, never gave her anything. But then happened a strange thing. During such a dinner, Halina was coughing and coughing, and my mother was curious and asked her, "Tell me, Halina, why do you cough that much? Are you also spitting blood?" Halina said, "Yes, sometimes." "So you have to go to a doctor, you may be sick, and it's a dangerous illness." Well, my mother arranged it that Halina went to the doctor, and the doctor confirmed that she had tuberculosis. Well, although in those days the Russian girls were not treated very friendly, she received an extra ration of milk every day, quarter liter, a glass full of milk. But Halina didn't get the milk. The milk drank this Nazi woman, Frau Dr. Stresemann, and so on. But finally, the war came to an end and the Russian army invaded our village. It was the first village that was conquered by the Russians in the war. It was on the 22nd of April, 45. And Halina was happy and ran down to the street to the Russian tanks and embraced the soldiers. And they asked her, "Why are you so thin and so pale? Are you sick? How does your chief treat you? Is she friendly to you or not? Otherwise," and they gave her a gun and said, "Kill this brutish beast, kill it." And she said, "No, please, don't do her any harm." She was always very friendly to me. And Halina saved the life of this old witch. Well, then she disappeared with the Russian soldiers. I tried to find Halina because when the Russian army freed Berlin, Halina was gone. And later I heard that all these girls, these Russian girls, who had been treated very badly from the Germans, were concentrated in labor camps in Siberia because Stalin considered them as fascist collaborators, agents. I never saw her again. I tried to find her, but I didn't know her complete name, only knew that she was called Halina. Well, maybe she died in Siberia. Maybe. I think very often of her. Now she would be 80 years old. Okay, bye-bye, Halina.